718-342-0510. Log on to www.vibesupradio.hd.com and listen live and share your thoughts on the discussion weekly. You are encouraged to use the chat box to add your input to the conversation. Welcome, Sharmin.
Sharmin.
Vibes Up Radio HD. I'm just representing from Rise Up Radio TV. Every Saturday, 12 Saturday, we'll be live on your radio from 12 to 2 p.m. Catch me every Saturday. Rush on Saturday.
Live from New York City, it's Vibes Up Radio HD. Happy Sunday. Vibes Up Radio HD welcomes you all to our Soul to Soul and Classic Oldie Sunday. Please don't forget about our Sunday cookout pot, where you can call us up and let us know what you're cooking. We start our day off with Sunday morning gospel. Then our live DJs take over at 9 a.m. Play the best in oldies. Soul to Soul. Rock for you. Sundays is where you and your family can put your feet up, kick back, grab a glass of wine, and listen to some great music from our live DJs. Our phone lines are always open, so you can call us up and spread some love or requests. Our telephone number is 718-342-0510. Oh, by the way, don't forget about our Hot Topics, which starts at 6 p.m. with our live DJs. It's real hot and spicy. Please don't forget to download our free app for Android and iPhones, or you can just log on to us and listen to us from anywhere in the world at www.vibesupradio.hd.com. Soul to Soul is sponsored by Wilmore Liquor, 862 Wilmore Street, Brooklyn, New York. Queens of Queens Beauty Salon, 339 Rockaway Avenue, Brooklyn, New York. Mr. Coffee King Incorporated, 341 Rockaway Avenue, Brooklyn, New York. From our family to yours, happy Sunday.
I walk away from love once more. I do better.
The Sunday Night Mix-Up Show. The Sunday Night Mix-Up Show. With the divas of the Sunday Night Mix-Up Show. The Sunday Night Mix-Up Show features weekly discussions about topics that are important and purposeful to our current society. The discussions are led, conscientious, and inspiring individuals who complement each other by adding their own unique touch to the discussions. So join us on the discussion every Sunday from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time by calling 718-342-0510. Don't forget to download the Vibes Up Radio HD free app and listen in or log on to www.vibesupradio.hd.com. You can also find us on the TuneIn app. Find us on Facebook at The Sunday Night Mix-Up Show, on IG at The Sunday Night Mix-Up Show, on Twitter at The Sunday Night Mix-Up Show. The Sunday Night Mix-Up Show. Come and talk to me.
Want your hair to stand out from the rest? Or a top-of-the-line hairdresser who specializes in weaves, braids, ponytails, and more? Queen of Queens Beauty Salon, 339 Rockaway Avenue between Glenmore and East New York, specializes in weaves, ponytails, short hair, kids' braids, dreads, and much, much more. Not forgetting our makeup artist. At Queen of Queens, hair is our first priority. When you want to stand out from the rest, your choice salon should be Queen of Queens. With over 20 years of professional hairstyling services, we can give you the image you've always wanted. Whenever you think hairdo, think Queen of Queens. We cut, trim, and shape hair in accordance to clients' demands. With strong knowledge of analyzing customers' hair and physical features to suggest hairstyles and recommend treatments. Expert in using specialized equipment such as hair irons, curlers, and steamers. For more info, follow us on Facebook, Queen of Queens Beauty Salon, or Tessa Griffin. On Instagram, Miss T Weaves and Wigs, or call 718-385-1258. Queen of Queens Beauty Salon, 339 Rockaway Avenue between Glenmore and East New York. Give your hair the treatment and style it truly deserves.
So shine bright tonight, you and we're beautiful like diamonds in the sky.
But why you looking so vexed, baby?
Why my party is tonight and I can't find no liquor?
What you mean say you can't find any liquor?
I was looking here, I was looking there, but every place I go is too expensive.
Did you think about trying Wilmore Liquor?
Wilmore Liquor? I've never heard about the one where they're located.
Looking for liquor
To supply for all your party needs? Well, look no further.
Come check us out
At Wilmore Liquor Supply, located at 1162 Wilmore Street, between East 98 and Rockaway, where our motto is we do better
for less.
At Wilmore Liquor, we offer the most variety and the best prices.
Business info? Yeah. Which number?
That's right. Come check us out at Wilmore Liquor, located at 1162 Wilmore Street, between East 98 and Rockaway. For more information, contact us at 347-413-8414. Once again, that's 347-413-8414. Wilmore Liquor, where our motto is better for less.
I can smile now, thanks to Wilmore Liquor, my party can go on now. Where the prices is the best in town.
If you're on the road or you're going out of town and don't want to miss your favorite radio station, no problem. We are available on all smartphone devices. Just look for us on the TuneIn app or just log on to www.vibesupradio.hd.com. Again, www.vibesupradio.hd.com. And take us with you. We are here for your convenience. Vibes Up Radio HD app is now available for all smartphone devices. Download it now for free and take us with you wherever you go. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Or just log on to our website at www.vibesupradio.hd.com. That's the vibes on the streets. Now, back to the music on the #1 station that's rocking the streets. VibesUpRadioHD.com.
Bust the heads. We ain't fighting all night. Ready for the movement. I'm ready.
Jesus make me shout so, come make me shout so. Jesus make me jump so, come make me jump now. Show me how you, show me how you, show me how you dancing now. Show me how you, show me how you, show me how you jumping now. Show me how you, show me how you, show me how you moving now. Tell me how you, tell me how you, tell me how you feeling now.
Right, if we move, if we move. If you stand up, they get for your bro. You wanna die in your heart and a swipe on your face. And I like when you're acting rude. One time in the road is sin. How can I me gonna even sin? Then Jesus saved me. Open the door to the kingdom and let me in. So now I'm born again. If you are my friend, this world is not my own. My destination is heaven. When I'm waiting to reach up here, now praise him up down here. And if you are free, when you're rocking out here, make it is up the atmosphere.
Jesus make me shout so, come make me shout so. Jesus make me jump so, come make me jump now. Show me how you, show me how you, show me how you dancing now. Show me how you, show me how you, show me how you jumping now. Show me how you, show me how you, show me how you moving now. Tell me how you, tell me how you, tell me how you feeling now.
Yes. Good evening once again. It's a Monday evening. Talk time with Sharmin on the Vibes Up Radio HD.
God never fail me. His spirit live inside me. He protect and he guide me. So if evil drop inside me, but just tell it get behind me. When the world I get so bad and things are make you sad, just call on Jesus, call on him and he will make you glad.
Jesus make me shout so, come me
afternoon.
Come make me jump now. Show me how ya, show me how ya, show me how ya dancing now. Show me how ya, show me how ya, show me how ya jumping now. Show me how ya, show me how ya, show me how ya moving now. Tell me how ya, tell me how ya, tell me how ya feeling now. So dance and shake your tambourine, 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 tambourine. So dance and shake your tambourine, 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 tambourine.
Yes, 718-342-0510 is the number. 718-342-0510.
My hands are gone. My hands are clean. My hands are Lord. He's the ruler of everything. My hands are gone.
Vibes Up Radio on a Monday afternoon. Talk time with Sharmin. Yes, we are in the place.
He is our Lord. He's the ruler of everything. Everybody say, my ears are gone. My ears are clean. My ears are Lord.
We're going to say good evening to the Vibes Up family, to the Goldstone family.
Everything is higher. It's higher than any other name. Any other name. Power is greater. He has created everything. Shout it out, Jesus. Jesus is our God. Jesus is our King. Jesus is our Lord. I know He's the ruler of everything. You know He's the ruler of everything. Sing it like you mean it now. Ruler of everything. Name is higher. It's higher than any other name. Power is greater. Oh, He
Evangelism Media, Mr. Sheldon. Good evening, sir.
it's higher. It's higher than any other name. Yeah, from the heavens and Trinity, He has created everything. Mighty is our God. Clap your hands and sing, mighty is our King.
Yeah, get ready, get ready, get ready.
Mighty is our Lord.
Very interesting topic tonight, you know. Mr. Noel Henry, good evening to you too, sir. Yes, 718-342-0510 is the number. 718-342-0510 is the number. I gotta play one more song and then we're gonna start a topic. Yeah, we're gonna take it higher. Sharmin, I guarantee you this one could post. Yeah, I want to welcome you. If you're on my feed on Facebook, if you're on Sharmin feed, if you're on Vibes Up Radio HD, download the app, Vibes Up app, it's free.
It's not my own belief. True worshipers, that's what the Bible sees. Yes, the hour has come. Worship with the glory stand. For His glory alone, we were created by His hand. We're taking it higher. We're taking it higher. Taking the worship higher. In Jesus' name. We're taking it higher.
higher than the high wall of embassy.
We're taking it higher. We're taking the worship higher. In Jesus' name. We're taking it higher. We're taking it higher. We're taking the worship higher. In Jesus' name. We're going up, up, up.
Under the voice of Mr. Late Great Upton Lewis.
I need a revival in my soul.
Yeah, I know a lot of people need a revival. In many ways than one. Thank God you got through the Monday. If you got home from work already, you tune in. Good evening, Michelle. You need a revival?
Born again, born again, born again. Washed in Jesus' blood, saved and sanctified.
Miss Onika, what you doing over there in Guyana?
Washed in Jesus' blood and sanctified.
Oh yes, I'm born again, born again.
Washed in Jesus' blood, saved and sanctified.
We was born again. I'm born.
Good evening, Sharmin. I know you're born again. I don't have to ask that.
Oh yes, I'm born again, born again.
Washed in Jesus' blood, saved and sanctified.
I'm born again, born again.
Washed in Jesus' blood and sanctified. I'm good to answer like the song. I'm not sorry, sorry, oh.
I'm not sorry, I'm not sorry. I answer the master's call. Jesus took my heavy load, now I'm on the glory road.
I'm not sorry, I'm not sorry.
Yeah, just a little inspiration for you before we get into the topic.
Believers, I'm not sorry, I'm not sorry. I answer the master's call. Jesus took my heavy load, now I'm on the glory road.
I'm not sorry, I'm not sorry, I'm not sorry at all.
Oh yes, now I'm not sorry, I'm not sorry. I answer the master's call. Jesus took my heavy load, now I'm on the glory road.
I'm not sorry, I'm not sorry, I'm not sorry at all.
Yeah, never been sorry. Once again, I want to say God bless evening, reaching out to each and every one of you out there, wherever you are, whatever city, country, town, wherever you are. You tune into Vibes Up Radio HD on the Monday evening. It's talk time with Sharmin, so let's get Sharmin in here. Good evening, Sharmin. How are you doing today?
Good evening, Pastor Peter, and I am wonderful. How are you?
I see you looking very sparkled in your purple or blue or what is the color?
Well, this is purple because tonight we're talking about domestic violence, and this is the color for domestic violence.
Well, I got on something with red that signified the blood, and I put the blood over that door. No, let's go there yet. Oh boy, so we have a wonderful show tonight, right?
Yes. And before we begin, I want to thank all the Vibes Up family, Vibes Up supporters, and all of the my friends and my supporters who faithfully dedicate their Monday evenings for listening to Talk Time with Sharmin. So I really want to say thank you to Petal, to Maggie, to Janelle and Otrice, Deadly, hey, thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule. And everyone else who I haven't seen, but I know that you're going to join later. So we want to thank you for your continued support. Everyone that is on Pastor Peter's feed, thank you for joining us. Janine, thank you. I haven't forgotten you. And, tonight I really want everyone to participate because this is another taboo for us, Pastor Peter.
Yep.
It's a taboo because we don't want it's secret. And as I was reading something this afternoon, when it just reminded me of what we were told or taught in Guyana, that you don't hang your dirty laundry in public. And that is actually in the article, one of the articles that was in the Times, that you don't hang your dirty laundry in public.
Right.
And I learned an alarming new thing today that, we'll get into that later, about the statistics among black women.
Okay. All right, let's play another song and then we're going to get back into the topic. All right, and tonight we're talking, well, you didn't mention exactly what it was that we were talking about.
We're talking about domestic violence. I said I'm wearing the color. Domestic violence, October. Okay, let me do it again. October is officially or has been designated to Domestic Violence Prevention and Awareness Month. So for the entire month of October, you're going to see a lot of stuff about domestic violence, heightening awareness, and measures to prevent it. And the color is purple.
Okay.
So please wear a purple something this month.
So you should have sent me the memos that I gotta wear a purple.
Well, remember today's the 3rd, right?
I'll put a purple bow in my hair. Just a little humor, folks, but you know what? It's a serious matter, okay? So don't take the humor for, it's a serious matter. All right, let's take a quick musical break and we come right back.
I'm feeling a river flowing out to me. Oh, Psalms 1:3. I'm feeling a river flowing out to me. I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it. I'm feeling a river flowing out to my emotion. I'm feeling it. Come say I'm one more time with me. I'm feeling a river flowing out to my emotion. I'm feeling it. Oh, Jesus Christ, I'm feeling a river flowing out to my emotion. I'm feeling it. Situations that me down captivity. Only change, but I was in mental slavery. Then the word of God came and set me free. Now I am blessed, no stress, man, I am in victory. Moving forward, even sorrow. I ain't gonna let no slow, whatever come waste my time. But when the anointing touch me so, all I want to jump and dance and I lose control. I'm feeling it, I'm feeling the river flowing out to my emotion. I'm feeling it, I'm seeing the glorious living water. I'm feeling the river flowing out to my emotion. I'm feeling it.
of my belly shall flow rivers of living water. Monday evening, Vibes Up Radio HD, talk time with Sharmin. Good evening, Miss Kathleen. How are you? Hey, talking about river flowing out of my innermost being, you know, I just want to say, you know, Lord, please, Lord, protect those in the path of Matthew.
Yes.
You know, guide them and protect them, because we see the destruction of that hurricane, Lord, and you can do anything, God. In the midst of the storm, you can bring them out of it, you can bring them through it. Oh God, I pray right now that you will take care of your people in Jesus' name. Yeah, that's right. That's the voice of Mr. Eddie Niblet on the Monday evening talk time with Charmaine and Miss Charmaine. So we're ready to start talking about this issue, because I know this issue is a very serious issue.
It's a serious social phenomenon that plagues, I think, every society, and
right.
It is something that we don't talk about. A lot of women endure it before they expose it.
Correct.
And just to give a definition of domestic violence, according to the National Coalition Against Domestic Violence is the willful intimidation, physical assault, battery, sexual assault, and or other abusive behavior as part of a systemic pattern of power and control perpetrated by one intimate partner against another. It includes physical violence, sexual violence, psychological violence, emotional violence, and now they've added financial.
Wow.
So that's the definition of domestic violence. And there is a power and control wheel that is so powerful that the perpetrator use, and most times after the abuse.
Right.
There is the honeymoon phase where the abuser, I don't like to call them batterer, but the abuser, the perpetrator. We're going to use that word if I remember all night.
If I remember it, I call the spade a spade.
Right. So the perpetrator, after the abuse, treats the woman. That's like after the abuse she becomes the queen. Right. So he treats her really good and is loving, and it's called the honeymoon phase. And most women get locked in that phase because after the battery you're treated good, and of course they make you feel as though you're responsible for the act. So after all the guilt that they have thrown on you, they shower you with things that they would not regularly do. So the power and control wheel have that honeymoon phase right after the abuse.
Serious. Just the other day I was reading. I saw the article on Facebook. And we have a thing that we like to laugh at. Guyanese country people, how they talk. But I mean, it was a serious matter, because the woman, she been abused for years by the husband, and the children growing up seeing that. So the son now, one of the son, I think is the eldest son, as a teenage stage, he decided to stand up to his father against the abuse on his mother, and the father ended up stabbing him up and killing him. So I mean, it's a serious thing.
And you know, Pastor Peter in Guyana, I don't know about you, but in certain communities that I live, it was common. You know, because you know, Friday night, Mr. Whomever is gonna go and drink, and when he comes home, he has everyone in the house screaming.
All right.
And you know, women would be abused, and they would go to the precinct or to the police station, and the cops would chase them away.
Yep.
So I don't know if that's still happening. I think that they passed a domestic violence bill a few years ago, and I guess our police officers in Guyana are more educated and more equipped and have the right tools to deal with domestic violence. But the power and control wheel for intimidation, the definition, making her afraid by using looks, actions and gestures, smashing things, destroying her property, abusing the pets, and displaying weapons. Hold on, Pastor Peter. It didn't say he touched her.
Right.
That intimidation, you get mad, you're not hitting her, but you throw the plate across.
Yeah.
It's a part of domestic violence. Intimidation. Because you're making her feel scared.
Right. Scare tactics.
So it is a form of abuse. Emotional abuse. Putting her down. You fat. You can't do nothing right. You can't even cook. No, don't put that on. You don't look good in that. But you would walk out of you would walk out of the house and pay someone else complimenting the same thing that you just told her not to put on.
Right.
Making her feel bad about herself. Calling her names. Fatso. Fat one. You know?
Other things.
Making her think she's crazy. When she points out stuff to you, you know, you do the reverse psychology and tell her it's all in her mind.
Right.
Playing mind games. Humiliating her. Making her feel guilty. And for me, I usually say emotional abuse is worse, because if your hand is broken, you can go to the doctor.
Right.
Healing emotional scars takes much longer.
Yep.
Isolation, controlling what she does, who she sees and talk to, what she reads, what she watches on television, where she goes, limiting her outside involvement, and using jealousy to justify your actions.
The man got a serious problem.
Really? Also minimizing, denying, and blaming. Making light of the abuse and not taking her concerns about it seriously. Saying the abuse didn't happen. Shifting responsibility for the abusive behavior. And of course, the guilt. You cause it. Why do you make me do this to you? You know I love you. Using children, Pastor Peter. Making her feel guilty about the children. Using the children to relay messages. This is something I hate to see.
Right.
Using visitation to harass her. Threatening to take the children away. You know, if you don't let me see this child, I'm gonna go to court and file for custody, full custody. Economic abuse. Preventing her from getting or keeping a job. Making her ask for money. giving her an allowance, taking her money, not letting her know about or have access to the family income. Male privilege, treating her like a servant, making all the big decisions, acting like the master of the castle, being the one to define men's and women's roles. So you don't handle the finances. You stay in the kitchen, you cook. When I come home, the house must be clean, you wash, but no major decision. And I think I shared this on this station that there is this Guyanese woman that is married to a Jamaican man, and he controls the finances. When she gets paid, she hands over her paycheck to him. He gives her enough money to buy gas for the car.
Give her an allowance?
Yes, an allowance, thank you. She gets her the allowance. And he controls everything. Then there is coercion and threats, making and or carrying out threats to do something to hurt her, threatening to leave her, threatening to commit suicide or report her to welfare or report her to child welfare, making her drop charges against you when she filed the charges, and making her do illegal things. That's all past the people, part of the power and the control wheel and the definition of physical, emotional abuse, and then there is sexual abuse. Even though there's you're married and you have a family, this is your wife, you're supposed to, if she says no, no is no.
Well, no always means no.
No always means no.
Well, the definition of that never changed. But you know, I mean, I'm talking about, you know, we go from the top. We take the top two. Physical, or let's say the top three. Physical, emotional, and psychological. It is a serious thing, you know. I remember growing up with some women that used to say, and they give you that feeling too as a young man growing up. If they don't beat me, they don't love me. You stop it. If you don't beat me, you don't love me, you stop it.
Someone just said that in the on the live feed.
Really?
If he beat me, love me, yeah.
I mean, there's so sometimes you see some female, or let's say that you may see a beautiful female out there, talking from a man's perspective. You might get into a relationship with that female, and you, let's say you're a good brother, you know, and you want to do everything right, but you would feel the brunt of what she went through from the previous relationship because she came out of an abusive relationship, you know. And now that is not only that you cannot enjoy that relationship, but she is robbing herself also of something good, you know, because of the mental state that she's in now, because of the physical abuse that she went through, you know. I do not encourage any man to put their hands on a woman. Listen, you know they say there's many fishes in the sea. Just keep going, brother. Just keep going. If you can't get along, leave it alone. Go and find someone else. Back home they have a saying, all molly biscuit, yo cheese. Exactly. So they're gonna be someone for you. And you gotta understand too, relationship is not just something when you go into a relationship, you gotta think about what you're bringing into the relationship, not just what you getting. Because when you start thinking about what you getting out of the relationship, it's not gonna go nowhere because it's gonna go one way. But you gotta try to make your other partner happy too.
But that's true. But Pastor Peter, there are so many factors that are related to domestic violence and IPV. IPV is intimate partner violence. So it's domestic violence and I think they use the term interchangeably. And so I have Miss Wanda Best DeVoe here with me. Wanda has been working in the field for 16 years. So she sees it and have first-hand understanding and information about domestic violence. I mean, for me, when I came here, when I came to the U.S., I was surprised because my first job was a domestic violence shelter with victim services in Staten Island. And, when I saw that, I was like, wow, in America, because of all the resources that they have available. It was a culture shock for me in the beginning. But here we are. I shared the definition, and I also talk about the power and control wheel. So, Wanda, what's the difference between domestic violence and intimate partner violence?
Domestic violence includes people who live together, whereas intimate partner violence includes people who live together, people who are in a relationship, and also people who are in same-sex relationships.
Okay.
Intimate partner violence.
Okay. As long as you have an intimate relationship, that any violence among that group, any persons involved in that group, it's intimate partner violence, right?
Well, you will have domestic violence. In domestic violence cases, you can have violence against partners, violence against siblings, violence against mothers or fathers and mothers against the children. Intimate partner violence don't include siblings. It includes relationships and same sex. So if you're in a relationship with the same sex partner, then that will be considered intimate partner violence opposed to domestic violence.
Okay. Wow. Because honestly, until I was actually reading this afternoon, I saw IPV. I'm like, what is IPV? And I saw the intimate partner violence, but I didn't have enough time to research it. But I saw DV/IPV, so I wanted to know if it was being used interchangeably because they didn't say DV and IPV. Okay. I saw something today that was extremely. I don't know if it was more perplexing, but when I saw that black women have a higher rate of domestic violence, and I was really shocked because it was written by a former social worker, clinical social worker, and I saw it on times.com. And she said there's not enough empirical studies to provide a lot of data, and that was surprising to me too, because you would think that this social problem is so common that you'll have more research done, maybe to identify, the cause or whatever, but according to the article, there are not a lot of research or empirical studies done in it.
Well, there's a lot of contributing factors as to why that is. The poorer people are the ones that go to the public hospitals, and studies are conducted, majority of them at public hospitals rather than at private doctors' offices and private hospitals where affluent people have money to pay. So those numbers are not recorded. Personally, from information that I have, is that DV is equal, but the studies are being done on inner city. You follow what I'm saying? So what happens is you get statistics about poor people, people of color, opposed to people of non-color who have enough money to go to a doctor that's not going to talk about or give statistics about their patients. Whereas if you go to an inner city hospital, they always collecting data on what happens. But then there's a deeper rooted issue that people of color are confronted with, and that is the racism that causes the anger and the displaced anger that comes out in domestic violence situations. Say, for example, you have a male that is lost his job. Now, he's out there looking for a job, and he's going, but he's one of the barriers in looking for a job, regardless of how many degrees you got, you still are going to be confronted with some level of racism. And so after going on, say, interviews and
being turned down,
then that anger is internalized, and that anger comes out on the people closest to you.
Well, it's amazing you mentioned that, because the article that I was reading, they were saying sexism and racism are one of the two contributing factors of domestic violence. And I was like, okay, so it made me read more, because I wanted to know the correlations. I can understand the correlation between racism and domestic violence, but I couldn't identify the correlation between sexism and domestic violence, and that's where the women came in, and the sexism that they actually place racism and sexism higher than domestic violence, or they push that to the forefront and don't deal with the domestic violence. So that was a pretty good article. The number here is 718-342-0510. Again, 718-342-0510. We're talking about domestic violence. The violence against, and then you have intimate partner violence. And you heard one that actually differentiate between the two, because I thought that, you use it interchangeably. And there are different kinds of domestic violence. There's the physical, there's sexual, there's psychological. I just read the definition for emotional, and what was fascinating is the intimidation part. Because when we talk about domestic violence, we always think about the punches and the black eyes, but we never highlight intimidation as a part of domestic violence.
Well, intimidation, that's psychological abuse. There's several types of abuse, and sometimes women feel that they are not being abused because they are not being hit. And first of all, let's be clear that domestic violence, whether it's physical or psychological, it's a crime, especially if it's physical. It's the crime of assault. And anyone who's assaulted you can press charges, and we can talk about that later. There are several types. You have financial abuse where they withhold money or they take your money. You have physical abuse, which everybody knows is physical hits, slaps, punches, kicks, stabs, ultimately murder. Then you have psychological abuses, which you cannot see. And that's the abuse of intimidation, of calling you names. And
I actually read all the definitions of the name calling, and I actually give some examples of some that I heard. You know, fatty, fat one, hey fat girl, and this is your husband. Yes, and she's plump.
Yeah, okay. If I leave you, no man.
No, there you go. You know.
You know, there's another form of it. You know, you can call names, but it's a deeper one where they embarrass you in public.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
You know, they call you names, but then they embarrass you in public. It's
humiliation.
Humiliation.
Yeah.
It's very subtle, but it's a form of psychological abuse. So psychological abuse is any emotional pain that you experience in a relationship.
And you know what's so sad? Like before you came in, Wanda, that I said, I think the scars of emotional abuse takes longer to heal, because that is engraved in your psyche. You suffer physical abuse and you break your arm, you can go and get a cast. No, and people can see that. The doctor can help you with that. Unless you tell someone about psychological and emotional abuse and about the intimidation and the way it's making you feel, no one would know. So you're suffering in silence,
right,
all alone. And then when you're ready to repair those scars, those wounds are so deep that sometimes some of it could be irreparable.
Well, people can recover, but it's very difficult if you do not get therapy. Therapy is definitely needed to address the issues that come out of psychological abuse. You will see the major, unfortunately, mental illnesses that come out of it is anxiety attacks, panic attacks, major depression, and these are mild mental illnesses, but still it's a mental illness that resulted from the emotional and psychological abuse that you experience in a relationship. And it takes a very long time to heal from it. And if it's not addressed, it's carried over to the next relationship, to the next relationship, to the next relationship.
Yep.
And sometimes those people wonder, now that you said that, because I've seen that, 3 or 4 relationships of being the victim. And then the 5th relationship, that person became the abuser.
When they do decide to let the guard down.
Well, I don't. No. What I'm saying, 1 relationship, 2 relationship, 3 relationship, 4 relationships, all are abusive.
Right.
Right? You have all the scars to show. Then the next relationship, he is not an abuser, but you're so used to being in an abusive relationship, you become the abuser.
Right. Recreate the environment that you are familiar with.
Yes.
And that happens to you.
Wow. But Miss Wanda, what would you say to some, because I personally know some women out there that go through some of these same types of things. They go through the physical, maybe not much in the physical, but more on the emotional side, more on the, as Sharmin was saying, with all the threatenings and stuff like that, right? But they're like in this, I don't know if I should put it in that way, if they are in denial, or if they're just plain scared, they don't want to call the cops. And let's say that the individual will come every time, like you said, make them feel like, well, you see, you were the one that made me did this. You know how much I love you. You know how much I love the kid. You know, what would you encourage someone like that to do? Because I mean, it's serious.
Yes, it's serious, but it's very deep rooted in the individual, and it's not that they don't know what's going on. When you are emotionally attached to someone, it's very difficult to take those emotions back, even if the person is abusing you. And that's why you will see people, family members say, you know, well, you should just leave. It's not that easy. And they go back because they still love the person. And so this is where the therapy and the support from friends and family come in to help the person navigate away from that relationship. But it's not like they want to stay.
Right.
You know, it's deep inside. It's a feeling. You know, it's hard to explain, but we see
codependency.
Go through that all the time.
Codependency, and also wonder while you're talking, culture or generation practices or learned behavior. Because let's say you grew up in a home with your mother, and you saw that that's how your father treated your mother, and your mother accepted it, and you just learned the behavior. And so now you're an adult, you attract the first person you usually look for in a man is your father, if you know him. And so now you're married to your father, and you think it's a norm because that's how your father treated your mother.
Well, that goes back to what we said earlier about creating an environment that you're familiar to. And yes, girls and boys, or young men and women, they gravitate to partners that are similar to their parents,
Unfortunately.
You know, but that's what happens because that's what they know. And the women will say, well, my mother accepted it, and this is part of relationship. And then they perpetuate generational abuse from one generation to the next.
Patricia on the live feed says, I think the person that's being abused is scared of the abuser. Of course, well, most of the times you're scared of the abuser because as I read early in the definition, threats. Sometimes you're threatened with what he or she's gonna do, and how they're gonna carry it out. So you're afraid. So they are scared. But one of the things, though, that is extremely subtle, and it could be emotional or psychological abuse. You dating a guy, and he starts to put restrictions on you. Now, I don't like you to speak to those people, or he has a problem with a group of people, and he don't want you to associate with that group, and you're seeing signs of control issues. He likes to control. What should we say to those women?
Well, it's about power and control. So he wants to control where you go, who you talk to, what you do. Look through your cell phone. Cell phone, ladies and men. Cell phone is your private property. No one should be looking through your cell phone, seeing who call, looking at your Facebook page unless you give them permission. This is all technology. There's a new term, technology abuse, that goes on all the time. But that is a form of psychological abuse because people have gotten into fights over cell phones, over Facebook pages, and sometimes the comments are harmless. But if the person is into power and control, they're going to ask you, who is this and what is saying?
And
whatever.
why is he liking your picture?
Right.
I went through your Facebook because I heard that. I went through your Facebook page and this particular person liked all your pictures and I couldn't understand when that was being told to me. And I said to her, I don't get it. Because Facebook is a public place and if you have a friend on your page and he's liking your picture, what's the problem? But even then,
The problem is he's male.
Yeah.
Say and no, and when you look at the characteristics of a batterer or abusive person, they are possessive. They want to own you. They want to isolate you. They emotionally or physically or psychologically or financially abuse you. So these are the things ladies gotta watch out for.
Could you repeat that? Go speak into the mic, Wanda.
Yes.
And repeat that.
I forgot what I said.
You made her lose her train of thought. But I have a question on that point though, because let's say we not. I mean, it might be a sign of abuse, right? But then again, what about if the person is not an abusive person, but they looked into the cell phone, which many people things revealed? You know, how would you classify that? Shouldn't they?
Well,
Or should they
cell phone-
not have looked into the?
Right. The cell phone is that person's personal property. And so why is this other person looking at somebody else's personal property? Most of the time that cell phone, that person didn't say, okay, you can look at my cell phone. Most of the time the people are looking at the
Sneak
cell
in.
phones when the other person is not around. You know, or in the bathroom or went downstairs, you know.
Right.
So that's abuse. And people don't want to accept it. It's called technology abuse.
It's like
It's private property. In a relationship, you're allowed to have your personal property.
yeah,
You know?
yeah. You know, I mean, but I guess in some relationships, suspicion, insecurity would cause someone to actually wanna, okay, I'm searching your cell phone. If we agree, like, what's going on?
Yeah, but then you look at the cell phone, you find something, and then what? You're going to have an argument, you're going to have a fight, you're going to have a disagreement. It's not worth it. You know, everybody should have their own property and no one
Some privacy.
should be, right. They
Privacy.
should have their privacy.
I think that if you're in a relationship, you should have your privacy. If you're open to each other and, you know, you guys, you can look at my phone and I can look at your phone, and that's an agreement that you guys made, that's totally different. That's different. But if we don't have an agreement and you sneak and you check my phone and you saw Tyrone called me 4 times, you're angry. So I just went on your cell phone and I saw Tyrone call you 4 times. Who's Tyrone?
Right.
Yeah, Sharmin, who's Tyrone?
You know? And then I have to say, well, Tyrone is my friend.
Right.
But how I never met Tyrone.
What kind of friend is Tyrone?
Yeah.
Where you met Tyrone?
I met Tyrone when we went out for drinks after work.
What are you doing out for drinks after work? Ain't you supposed to come home after work?
But I thought I'm grown. When I came home, I told you we went out and we had a drink.
Well, you got family home, that grown thing done.
But that's why I got... No.
I'm power and control. Y'all playing the role.
Yeah. But look, you go and you hang out with the boys. Why I can't hang out after work?
Why is a man? You say woman, it's not gonna look good on you?
Really? So it's okay for you and not for me?
Yes.
Where?
Double standards.
There you go.
Double standards.
We get an award for that. She get a Grammy for that, right?
But that's what happened, and then it goes on, and then I might say something that, okay, why I can't have a male friend?
Right.
And it escalates. Because some men think that women should not have male friends.
But it's okay for them to have
but
female
it's okay
friends.
for them to have female friends.
Right.
Also, another form of abuse that we don't talk about is that every time a woman gets a baby, in 6 months she's pregnant again.
That means can't go nowhere. You gotta stay here. Can't go nowhere.
She's always pregnant. She never has time to recover and find time for herself because she always have a baby.
And now my question is now, when to my brothers out there, when you do that, are you gonna stay with that woman when she fall out of shape? All right, let's go to the phone lines.
That's a good question.
Welcome to Talk Time with Charm. Caller, you're live. Welcome to Talk Time with Sharmin.
Hello, good evening, good night. I'm listening to the topic right now. Yes, and I hear you saying like the men, but I'm like, they're telling like, what's happening to the guys who was in abusive relationship with women? Guys go through it. And I could tell you that out of experience, because I was sick over a year. Okay, I work, save our money and whatever. So I think I couldn't work. Then I went to hell with my kids, man. The abusive words. I had to pack and leave. You know? And I know how it feels like. Not from a man, but as a human point in life. There are many times she said, oh, I wish you're dead. Now working back, she said, oh, I said, no, I can't go. She said, why you mad? I said, why you angry? I said, I'm not angry, I'm mad because you have 2 kids for me. And you're wishing my kids fatherless. So, yeah, guys go through it, but the problem is it, men does not talk about it.
Caller, I am so glad you brought that up. Because when you look at the statistics, you have 6 million women reported cases annually, but there also are 3 million men reported cases annually of spousal abuse. Men are abused too.
Up to 2 weeks ago, one of my boys, good thing you recorded it, caught this woman in the words and tell her, listen, get out my house. And he's caught. She called it, the police came, he called the police, and all this thing, and she's like, yo, he hit me, and nigga never even touch her. And so he said, listen, I record this thing, and know what it is. You know, in life as human beings, we go through a lot. I go through, to me, like the Facebook thing, I always tell it, my kid's mom, she's like, oh, you want my number? I said, no, that's your private life. I'm not going to middle. I don't want to know what goes on with you with Facebook, who liking you. Maybe his friends on Facebook. I don't even go on a page. She go on my page. Oh, who is this? Who is that? Guys go through this thing, but many men doesn't say anything.
Caller.
Yes.
I just want to compliment you because it's something that is that I would have raised, because the article that I read today, they said that I forgot the percentage of men that are a part of the statistics of domestic violence.
Well, this one they just read out. What was it? 3 million?
3 million
reported cases.
Reported cases, and also I guess it's because of how men were raised that you're macho. You can't go and tell the cops, call the cops and say, you're embarrassed because you don't want anyone to know that you're being abused by a woman.
True.
You know, that's like stripping you of your manhood.
Yeah.
And that has a lot to do with
the... When it comes, especially words, I always hear a whole lady told me one time, she said, dude, you know, words sometimes cut deeper than somebody boxing you. I'm like, words? I never really and stay until I get older. And then I've been through it, and sometimes it felt like it's best she just push a knife in my and get it over.
Yes.
That's how I felt many days.
Yes.
And I'm like, yo, I'm out. She's like, yo, you gonna leave the house, everything? I said, I'm out. I called my mom, I said, I'm coming by you. She said, I gotta leave you come till you catch yourself back. And I walk up.
That's a good thing about mama, man.
But, at least, you know, you always got mama to fall back on. But you remember as a child, as a kid, you would say sticks and stones may break my bones, but
it don't work as an adult.
Words would never hurt.
Words would never hurt. And not even as a child, that doesn't work.
No. That they might tell you something and you're ready for punch whoever.
There you go. There you go.
You know, but in life we go through this thing as human beings because it's not. When you get in a relationship today, and now when I look for a relationship, many people females say, "Oh, you hate love." I said, "No. I want to first. You got to show me you care about me, cause that's what I'm going to show you. Love's going to follow anyway. I don't want love first because then if something happens to me, you don't care then. Love does not care about you. You know, everybody that, oh, I love you. And then still, at the end of the day, they look for hurt you.
But you see,
I won't say they Guyana. Take care of your clothes, your shoe, and everything, and it will last you longer.
My brother, you know, a lot of people don't know the difference with love and lust. So many times it's lust. It's not love, it's lust. What you can do for me and what I can get from you. How you make me feel when I'm with you.
Oh, yeah. But you know, that's all the word, because the word love too, out there, love, the word love, when people say, I felt like it's a word of to make you feel comfortable nowadays. It's like, this is what I'm going to say, because you want to hear it, and you're going to feel comfortable, you're going to feel secure. You know, so it's a word that's so wrong now, so that's why I don't trust it coming from people, because I'm like, yo, I want to see an action.
Yep.
Carl, I have a question. After suffering that emotional abuse from your kid's mom, did you seek any professional help or intervention?
No, I've just like take it to another experience. Like I talk to other female that they can think, but I'm not judging them for what I went through with her. You know, personally, I used to do counseling. So they say in life goes on. If you hold on to the past, it will destroy you. You will never see what comes in front of you or ahead of you. So I let go of that, and I let that make me judge any woman that comes in my face. She got to do what she has to do for me to judge her by her actions. You know, so I didn't go to no counsel, but you know, I get up, go by my mama, do I take care of my kids. You know, life goes on, have fun, do me. Okay. That's what you gotta do, but some people cannot do that. Some people can. They commit suicide, they can't handle certain things because all of us can build that way.
But let me just say this. If she had physically abused you, you would have gone to the hospital and you would have got some stitches and some bandages and some plaster Parish, right?
Yeah, and I would have told them she hurt.
Yes, but you suffered emotional and psychological abuse, but you didn't go and get the help.
No.
Okay.
Yeah, because,
But what's the difference? It's abuse anyhow. You would have gone to the hospital and told the doctors that...
Yeah, because that was a physical moment. But, it's a psychological, and I know to get up and bounce back with it. I didn't need that help because I used to help people through it. And if I could not take my experience and help myself through it, then something I never learned from what I taught people.
Wow.
So I take that, my experience, and up on it. I talk about it with people like, someone do that, you telling us these things. I said, so what? I'm a human being first. In this world, we are human beings first before I am a man. Because when I came in as a human being, as a child, I grew up to be a man. Man do cry. I tell you, many times I cry. I wouldn't see him for saying it. Some guys are like, oh, I don't cry. Man, when you hurt, you cry, man. No matter what it is. Somebody tell you something hurtful, you cry.
The biggest, baddest man
cry.
crying.
More part to it. And take a true man to admit certain things of his feelings. Never try to be mature and feel like, yeah, whatever. You're not trying to deal with reality in life.
Well, I really hope that you encourage other men to call in and to share their stories, and because I'm sure you're not the only person. There are men out there that might be in the situation as we speak, and you just your call and you sharing and trusting us to be vulnerable will be an encouragement or a motivation for them to identify that they're in an abusive relationship, and maybe to give us a call so we can talk about it.
True.
And when you talk about it to most of the time that you release whatever anger and help you to move on. But when you keep it in, that's what destroys you.
Well,
and I keep telling up for these guys, I say, listen, to females, you gotta let go. Talk it up, move on. See it as what it is at that moment, and don't regret about it, but you take it of a lesson where it's learned, so you could take it to the next one that you move on and know what you gotta look for. And from the time you see it, don't stay around so it gets from bad to worse. Just, hey, you know what? This is what I just came out of. I don't want to be in this.
True.
You know, before you get too deep, and then it's hard to get up.
Yeah. All right, Paul.
That's the problem with me. Okay?
All right,
Thank
man.
you so
Thanks for
much.
sharing your view.
Thank you.
You guys take care and keep up the good work.
Thank you.
All right.
Yeah.
Before we move, he made a lot of interesting points in terms of looking at it from the male perspective. And one of the biggest problems with why men do not talk about it is the socialization process that men go through. Men are socialized one way and women are socialized another way.
Sure.
Women are technically socialized from little girls to be caretakers. They're given dolls, teacups, pots, and little stoves and everything that it takes to take care of the family. That's what little girls get to play with, and baby dolls. Now the boys, they get trucks and army men and things that they can control. That's the key word, that they can control.
So in other words, the females are taught to be emotional and the male are taught to be more macho.
No, I think that the females are taught to be caretakers and submissive, whereas the boys are taught to power and control. Now, little boys are taught as little boys not to cry, not to show emotions. If you do that, then you're a sissy. Now they grow with this teaching until they become adult men, and then they get into relationships and they do not know how to express their emotions because they have been raised and socialized to suppress them. And what happens when you suppress an emotion? It comes out violently.
Yes.
Yes. One of our viewers said that he witnessed the abuse of his mother from he was 10 years old to like 13 years old, would change his view for a while on relationships. You know, I mean, it is pretty interesting because there are many abuse that happen in front of children too.
And I saw something about that today also. But before we go, just remember we have to talk about the abuse with children. Sean McDonald said, you know, most of us were raised in patriarchal societies and homes. And you just give an example. The girls, you get teacups and saucers and the stoves, and the boys get trucks and fire engine and trains, so that they can learn to put those together and control it, while we have to be the caretakers. So he said, patriarchy in itself, in of itself is grounded in the diminishment of women. Thus, it is not really a surprise that domestic violence or intimate partner violence is rampant in patriarchal societies such as the United States and other nations known for their patriarchal system. DV and I, well, he didn't finish his thought. Sean, call us so you can finish that thought. And one thing that Miss Lorraine said that made me laugh, but the caller was on, when I said that a form of abuse is that every time you turn around, she's pregnant and she's not having any time for herself. And Miss Lorraine said, that's called tie me down abuse.
What is it called? It's tie me down.
It's called tie me down abuse.
Oh boy. Whatever abuse you want to call it, Miss Lorraine, is abuse.
I think the guy, who is that, Sean, that just made the last statement, that was a good point.
Yes.
In this culture here in the United States, women did not get their rights until the early 19th century. Prior to that, women could not own property. They were property. They could, if the husband died, they could not, or they got a divorce, they could not take the children. Women could not work outside of the house unless they were working for their husbands. It wasn't until World War I and II when men started to go off to war and they were getting killed off that women was able to move and get jobs outside of the house. And this is how women were able to get into the workforce, and once they were in the workforce, they started to form unions and committees and started to fight for their rights. And so if you look at the history along with the socialization process of both males and females contributes to and supports intimate partner violence and domestic violence.
Wow. So if you just join us, we welcome you. This is Talk Time with Sharmin every Monday afternoon from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. We are talking this evening about domestic violence. We have Miss Wanda Best in the studio and Sharmin Prince here. And Pastor Peter, yes, we are here today and we're discussing this matter. We know it's a very serious matter. So if you want to join in the discussion, our phone number here is 718-342-0510. That's 718-342-0510. If you if you're on my feed, you're on Sharmin feed, if you're on Wanda's feed, or if you're on Vibes Up feed, whichever feed you're watching on live, you could also place your comments, and we will read them for you. Okay, you can place your comments and we'll read them for you. So once again, the number is 718-342-0510. That's 718-342-0510. And the topic we're discussing is on domestic violence.
Yes, Pastor Peter, you want us to take a short break?
Okay, you want to take a short break? All right. All right, let me see what I got here. Okay, let's go.
Yeah, this is Eddie Noble to the world. Yeah, man, love and unity productions, you know. Watch this. Oh, I'm in it to see it. It's for you and me. Welcome to this stronghold, Satan and over we. Jump in the praise and worship, my God is the joy. Lifted up the anointing, because it is every hour. Like lightning and thunder, I work in the city. I declare war over the enemy. So no more rebellion, freedom we shall be. Everyone in agreement, from the enemy, free from the enemy, free from temptation, free from adultery, free fornication, free emancipation, free to the nation, free all creation, free generation, free from sickness, from wickedness, from weakness, from distress, from poverty, from shame. Take back the liberty that was stolen in Jesus' name. Freedom! 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 Yeah, yeah, freedom! Freedom! In Jesus' name. Freedom! Yeah, yeah, freedom! 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 Sing it! And everybody say, free from the enemy, free from temptation, free from adultery.
They're free from domestic abuse.
Free emancipation, free to the nation, free all creation, free generation, freedom, again, freedom.
Yeah, freedom from everything. Free from the domestic abuse also. Once again, we welcome you to the Vibes Up Radio HD. In the Monday afternoon, it's talk time with Sharmin. Yeah, we're discussing the domestic violence this evening. Don't forget 718-342-0510 is the number. That's 718-342-0510. Captain, you gotta fix the door. That's right, freedom, 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 freedom. You tune in to Vibes Up Radio HD on a Monday evening. This is Talk Time with Sharmin. Yes, we are in the place. We got Miss One the Best here also. Sharmin Prince is here. And we're talking domestic violence this evening. All right, so the phone number here is 718-342-0510. You can join in the conversation if you cannot call in. And you want to put in your 1 cent, your 2 cents, your 3 cents, whatever cents, 5 cents. Whoever feed you are on, if you're on the Vibes Up Radio feed, if you are on my feed or Sharmin feed, you can place your comment and we will read it for you, okay? So you will be a part of the show.
Thank you. The number is 718-342-0510. 718-342-0510. Call and join in the conversation. Some Pastor Peter, you raised something. One of your friends commented that while during his childhood, he witnessed domestic violence.
Right.
And anytime a mother is being abused, her
All right, let's take the call first.
Calling you live. Welcome to Talk Time with Sharmin.
Hi, Sharmin. Good evening. And good evening, Pastor Peter. Miss Wanda, good evening to you.
Good evening.
Good evening, Lord.
Sharmin, I have someone that is very close to me. She's married, 3 kids, 2 for her husband, and 1 that, she went into the relationship, the marriage with. And she has been more verbally abused. And she doesn't work. He's the sole provider for the family. And she's finding it very scared to leave for the simple fact that because she feels that she can't do without him. So I think she's listening. If you guys can help her with some tools and maybe how she can, recondition her mind of that fear and that feeling that she can't make it without him or without that support.
But Lorraine, is it she can't make him, or he has conditioned her to be that way?
I think that's part of the issue too. But like I said, she is scared that if she walk away from what he is providing, like that's going to be the end of her because she can't do it on her own.
Okay.
So because of that, she stayed. It's not healthy for her, neither the 3 kids.
Well, that is normal for a woman that's totally dependent on the man. She cannot see herself without him financially. And she may not continue to love him, but she's thinking in terms of, how am I going to provide housing? How am I going to provide for my children? So that's part of the support that she needs. There are programs out there that can help her to take her children.
But she's not here. She's in Guyana.
Well, it still applies there. She would have to seek out what programs are in Guyana that help women that are in abusive relationships. And also she must have a plan if she's thinking of leaving. So it's a process. People look at other people in abusive relationships and say, well, it's bad, you should just leave. It's not that easy. You have little children. You have to think about, okay, I have to take my children out of school. Where are they going to go to school? I have to move to a place so that they can have a stable foundation. Where is that going to be? If she doesn't have an income, then that makes it even harder for her because she's not going to have money to move.
Okay, Wanda. The resources that are available here in the U.S. are not available in Guyana. So, what tools can we give to her? Because she might be listening. What tools can we give?
She's probably listening.
What tools can we give to her that can help her to become self-sufficient?
Talk to people, someone, pastor or someone that she trusts to gain the support and the confidence that she can make that move. She has to talk to someone. She can't keep it inside. She got to seek out someone that she trusts. And within seeking out that person, then maybe identify where she can go and who's out there to help her. But she would have to make a move herself.
See, the way thing is in Guyana. The way things is in Guyana, because I'm a Guyanese. I'm from Guyana. I grew up there, and for many of my visits back there, it's something that I see that in Guyana, it's like most of the female, they are so dependent on the male factor. Like they don't have any proper jobs or anything for them to do, proper schooling and stuff like that for them to do, They might have maybe like nursing or whatever, but then there's not that much. Even if they get a store job, the income is not enough to support them. So they need that support, I don't know how strong she is with her family, like the family members, anybody can help out with the kids or whatever, those type of support, you hardly get that there too.
Pastor Peter, really?
So,
really? No,
I'm just saying.
Lorraine, listen, Pastor Peter, really? Why I said really? Because if she had the support of the family, she would have ran there.
Right.
I am sure that because that man is taking care of her, the family, if she runs away and go to the family, they will not accept her because they're going to send her right back. Because first thing they're looking at, he's taking care of you. My encouragement to her, and I hope she's listening.
But Sharmin, before you go there, her part of being, she's not scared that if she walks away, what he would do to her and the kids. Like I said, I think it has to do with her mindset. For whatever reason, she has this belief that she cannot do it on her own without him. So with that, she decides that she can do better and she has to stay. So that's because Sharmin, I know you know this is your field. Like, how can she, just program her mind and mentally to think different?
But remember when
because I know as a woman, especially with kids, I mean, you always put your children first, and what's best for them. Even though the situation may not be right, but you feel bad, I'm going to take them out of a home where they're familiar with, they're certain about getting 3 squares, and then take them to something that I can give. So I think mentally, that's where her head is messed up.
Right. Well, that's where the support system come in. Because
but first she don't have that support.
Right. So she needs to seek out someone, even if it's just a friend, that can help her identify what you have already identified that she's doing. She's in a very codependent relationship. Her self-esteem is low. She's letting this guy validate her worth. So she first has to identify that this is what's going on. Because if you are being told constantly, she's probably been suffering from a lot of psychological abuse. So if you're constantly told, you ain't nothing, you can't live without me, and you're hearing this and hearing this, after a while, the little robot in your subconscious mind starts to act out those behaviors, and you lose self-confidence. So that's what happened to her. So how do you help her get her self-confidence back is a place to start.
As I said, I think that because of the psychological and the emotional abuse, which both of them strips you of your self-confidence, your self-esteem, and your self-worth. So because of that, and I'm sure he has been telling her that she can't survive without him.
Because he knows it.
Right, because he knows that he is supporting her financially. Right. So she believes that. But Lauren, for me, a tool that I would like to encourage her to get is to use whatever leverage he would give to her. Like, would he allow her to go to school? Would he allow her to go to classes, to do something so that she can begin to feel good about herself again? Whatever he would allow her to do, she should get involved in it. Like, she could just say to him, baby, I saw this class. I want to go to Carnegie because I'm home all day. We're spending money to buy clothes for the kids. If I go to Carnegie and I learn to sew and I learn to make cakes, when is the kid's birthday, I could make the cake for the kids. Mm-hmm. I could make the kids' school clothes. All you need to do is buy me a machine.
Yeah.
Independence. Because I'm sure if it's how it's presented. If she presented that way, he's gonna say, I never thought about that. Maybe you should go to Carnegie.
Right, not just stopping short to say, I want to go. Because
no.
Why do you want to go there?
Right. It's not like, I was just thinking I'm home all day, I'm cooking, I'm cleaning. I can go to, why don't you send me to Carnegie? Because of course he's in control. Mm. She's asking him to send her. And she's not making any decision. Mm. So he give him some power.
I'm going to play the devil's advocate. Suppose he says no.
Well, if he says no, okay.
Because that's a possibility.
Well, that's a possibility.
Right.
But then she knows her man, and she knows what she needs to do to get him to say yes.
Some of them, they just want to control everything.
She knows every woman knows her man. So if she knows what to do and prepare the time to have that discussion, and wait until the kids need extra shirts. Oh man, here we go again. We have to buy 3 shirts for Paul, Tom, and Luke. You know, if I go to, if you agree to send me to Carnegie, we won't have to do this?
You know, the highest murder rate amongst women when it occurs when they are getting ready to leave. Some men would murder the woman rather than allow her to leave him.
That's true. I mean, there's so many things because I mean, when you come to think about it, Miss Lorraine, we thank you for the call.
Thank you guys. Yes.
You have a blessed evening. Okay.
Yes.
All right. All right. There are so many women that are so well. I shouldn't say scared, but they stay in abusive relationship because of the kids. Many times I hear that. Well, you know, we're together because of the kids.
That's such, I hear that too. I think it's such a dumb statement.
And they getting abused up and down, left, right, and center, and I'm staying because of the kids.
You know, I want to read a list from the National Coalition Against Domestic Violence, why people stay. The victim fears the abuser. That's the number one, which we've all talked about here.
Miss Wanda, I'm sorry, but you know this is very important. So I would like you to read that loud and clear in the mic, please. Thank you, dear.
The victim fears the abuser. Violent behavior will escalate if she tries to leave. The abuser has threatened to kill the victim's family, friends, pets, children, and or himself or her. The victim loves his or her abuser and believes she or he will change. The victim believes abuse is a normal part of a relationship. The victim is financially dependent on the abuser. The abuser has threatened to take the victim's children away. The victim wants his or her children to have two parents. The victim's religious or cultural belief preclude him or her from leaving. The victim has low self-esteem and believes she is the blame of the abuse. The victim is embarrassed to let others know she has been abused. The victim has nowhere to go if she leaves. The victim fears retribution from the abuser's friends or family. Those are just some of the reasons why they stay. And we pretty much have mentioned them all.
Yeah. But the part that got me there, man, that man gotta be a real bad man. You wanna kill a pet.
Yeah.
Even the pet he threatened to kill.
Sometimes they abuse the pets and like, you see me kick the dog, I'm gonna kick you next. You know, it's crazy.
And I think that's a part of what Sharmin was talking about earlier too, you know. They might break the furniture.
Yeah.
They might throw things around the room.
Yeah.
You know, like one of those baseball player that had got suspended the other day. What he did, he went out and shoot his gun in the garage.
Or you might go to a home and you see a lot of, you're noticing holes in the wall. Because when he's angry, he punches the wall. And you know, so I didn't hit you. So eventually, he's going to be tired of bruising his hand and, you know, hit her.
And that, you know, when you look at it, that anger, when it comes out forcefully. You know, so they punch the wall hard enough to put a hole in the wall. And the next step is to punch the person that hard. So that energy has to come out. And people, most of the time, who are arrested for domestic violence abuse, which is assault or aggravated assault, or depending on how serious it is, they have to take anger management, because the people that fight are people who get angry and then lose control, unfortunately. It's like, I think you said you talked about that wheel, the power and control wheel, where of course when you meet them, you meet the representative, you do not meet the real person. And then after a while down the line, the real one, the mask fall off, and then you see the real individual. And then you become nervous and You're walking on eggs. You don't want to upset the individual. In the meantime, he's getting, or she is getting wound up and more wound up and more wound up, and then there's an explosion, and that's where you have the fight. Then after that energy is released, then they calm. And that's the honeymoon period. And that is the period that the classic battered woman or battered man live for, that period. But that period don't last.
Right.
Because it goes around again. That's why they call it a cycle.
Wow. I mean, it is so, you know, remember the first caller that called, the young man that talked about, you know, the abuse from female on male. He reminded me of, what was the brother you had here? Tyrone's story.
Yes.
That's a type of abuse right there that drove that brother to suicide.
It's not a type, it is abuse. It was
psychological abuse. So I mean, it goes both ways, because sometimes to male, there's some male that don't want to, they don't have that aggression, that it will revert to something like suicide or something like that. So I mean, it is a serious issue all across the board.
Although, also I think when men were taught not to hit women, there is nothing you can push that man and he would walk away. Like Ty said, but some women have this. I don't even want to say tendency. They have PhDs in emasculating men, stripping them of their masculinity and making them feel less than.
Right.
And those, I mean, yes, we're talking about women who are being abused, but there's some women who do that to men. That when they finish, that man has to go somewhere in private to see if he's really a man. So it goes both ways, because you know, some women, because I can't hit you, or you used to hit me and now you stop, so you're not hitting me and I'm not hitting you, but I'm going to use my words.
Right.
Which are more deadly. Because we talked about the psychological.
Yes.
Like Isaac in the Bible said, so true. Most times when they leave, the men look for them and kill them. And I wanted to read something here. Many battered women have had to forego financial security during divorce proceedings to avoid further abuse. As a result, they are impoverished as they grow older. 1/3 of the children who witness the battering of their mothers demonstrate significant behavioral and or emotional problems.
Right.
Listen to this. Including psychosomatic disorders, stuttering, anxiety and fears, sleep disruption, excessive crying, and school problems.
Well, of course. How can they function when they're in a home like that?
But what they do, they take it to school.
Yes.
And they're not focused on what's happening in the school. They are thinking about what went on at home or what went on in the morning before they went to school. Children witnessing violence are more likely to get into adult relationships where there are violence. They are more likely to be addicted to drugs and alcohol. They are more likely to end up in the criminal justice system. Children that witness violence. The babies, if you look at it from a stage perspective, babies before they are born, if they're fighting going on outside and they're still in the womb, the baby that's 8 or 9 months can hear that. And when that baby is born, that baby cries. It clings to the mother out of the fear something was going to happen. That's how serious it is. The little children, we see this over there, 2 and 3 years old in daycare. They fight each other. they kick and spit and push at each other because this is a learned behavior that they've grown up with. They treat their mothers the same way the fathers, the batterer, the abuser, they kick them, they call them names. And this is what I see at where I work. And that's how bad it is, and that's how bad it is for the children and that kind of thing. So you don't stay, people say, oh, I stayed for the kids. Staying for the children is causing them more harm to stay for the children.
Right, because they're seeing that.
They're seeing that. And they're learning that behavior. And the kids that have that experience are more likely to be bullies.
Right.
As they, progress through school.
And not even bullies, they themselves become batterers. Because it's a learned behavior.
Right.
And they lack the coping skills, so they get a girlfriend. And I really was trying to find the stats for adolescents and young people. I'm sure, Wanda, you might be able to shed some light on that. Because there are a lot of 15, 16 adolescents that are being physically abused because their boyfriends or their girlfriends grew up in homes where socialized in that environment.
Right.
So now they're in a relationship and don't lack coping skills. So the girlfriend might say something, or they might see something on Facebook, social or IG, and say, they're having a conversation, and he doesn't know how to deal with her response and slaps her.
He's gonna deal with it the way he learned to deal with it. So I have some information on teen dating violence. Nearly 20.9% of female high school students and 13.4% of male high school students report being physically or sexually abused by a dating partner. Nearly 1.5 million high school students in the United States are physically abused by dating partners every year. A 2013 study of 10th graders found that 35% have been either physically or verbally abused. 31% were perpetrators of physical or verbal abuse. A 2014 study found 10% of teenage students in dating relationships were coerced into sexual intercourse in the previous year. A 2013 study found 26% of teens in relationships were victims of cyber, which we talked about, technology abuse, of cyber dating abuse. Females was twice as likely to be victims as males. 57% of teens know someone who have been physically, sexually, or verbally abusive in a dating relationship. Only 33% of teenage dating abuse victims ever told anyone about it. 50% of youth reporting dating violence and rape also report attempting suicide. This is compared to 12.5% of non-abused girls and 5.4% of non-abused boys. So this is a serious problem with our teenagers.
Yes.
They're not even adults. They're teenagers.
Yes. I raised that because I read that. But I didn't read the stats. I just read an article of the prevalence of domestic violence among our adolescents. And these are the people that are going to be adults, our leaders of tomorrow. And they're already faced, and these are 15 year old, 14-year-olds that have already been exposed to violence, be it physical, psychological, or sexual.
Wow.
So here is signs of that a child is witnessing violence, and this is something that the callers can look for. Is aggressive behavior. That's what we talked about. Aggressive behavior, anxiety, changes in sleeping and eating. I think you said that. Clinging to the mother, difficulty concentrating, difficulty managing anger, so they act out as they see the doing, feeling responsible for protecting their family, feeling unsafe, nightmares, self-blame, unfound complaints of feeling sick, psychosomatic illnesses, withdrawing from family and friends. These are children. So the children and the teens, they're in trouble.
And now that, Wanda, I'm happy that we are addressing that part of it, because some parents, either father or mother, whatever, might be saying that I am staying for my children. But think about it.
Yeah.
When you stay for your child, what are you doing to your child? You have already been suffering the consequences, but your child maybe you may be seeing the signs of the psychosomatic problems, that the child say, "Mommy, I have a headache. Mommy, my chest hurts me. Mommy, I'm sick." Right? So here you are, the psychosomatic, and nothing is really wrong.
Or they don't want to go to
school. Or they don't want to go to school.
Because they're scared to leave.
Right. Because they're scared to leave you at home. Or whenever children come over, that child is so aggressive that they can't play with their peers.
Wow. 718-342-0510 is the number, folks. 718-342-0510. We're talking about domestic violence, and behold, you might say, oh, you're talking about domestic violence, but you're on with kids, and you go, it's domestic. It's all within the domestic capacity. I'm going to start using some big words just now, you guys, I don't know if you're going to be able to spell it, but, it is a serious matter, and we're discussing that tonight. We have Ms. Wanda Best and Sharmin Prince here. The number is 718-342-0510. If you want to join in, you want to share your comments. If you're on my live feed, you're on Sharmin's live feed, you're on Vibes Up Radio live feed, whoever feed you're on, you can drop your comments there. We will also read that, all right? And you can give us a call also. Once again, the number is 342-0510. 342-0510. 718 area code.
I just want to read, and I know this is in response to the caller, to the person that Miss Lorraine shared about. Benita James said she needs family support. She needs help with the children and a job. It's not going to be easy, but only you can do it for yourself and the kids. Be strong, sister.
See, that's the point I was making.
Move on. Yeah. Yeah.
Because I know Guyanese. I know how Guyanese operate. I know if you have that family support. But sometimes, Miss Wanda mentioned something too that is pretty much interesting, because I have a family member back home that was murdered. She left 3 kids behind because of the same thing. She did have the family support, but what happened? The young man tell her to meet him XYZ to get some money for the kids and whatever, and he took her and murdered her. So I mean, it's something that you got to be very careful to when you're doing it. Got to be very careful.
So I want to encourage some of my callers. If you have experienced domestic violence, call us and share your experience with us if you're comfortable.
Show me who you are. I must masquerade. Show us who you are.
Yeah, that's right, on Master Masquerade.
Show me
Vibes Up Radio on a Monday evening.
You wanna solve people's problems, but can solve your own. You're in everybody's business. You neglect your own. You are hurting inside.
Blessings to my brother, Mr. Linton Atkins. Over there in the Florida, Sunshine, Florida. I hope you see it from Matthew, my brother. I hope you see it from Matthew.
Because living in certain neighborhoods will make you very significant in the eyes of the
Mr. Donald Romaine.
We wanna see your big smile, but behind it so mad.
Yeah, Brooklyn Tabernacle.
Hiding your tears, you've been hurting for years and years. I want the masquerade. Show us who you are. Show us who you are. Show me who you are. I want the masquerade. Show us who you are. Show us who you are.
Yeah, we got another hour to go. Another hour. Talk time with Sharmin.
Take out right now. Take off your mask right now.
718-342-0510. That's the number, 718-342-0510.
God wants to heal you right now. Right now. Take off your masquerade. A masquerade. Show us who you are. Show us who you are. Show me who you are. A masquerade. Show us who you are. Show us who you are. Show me who you are. I wanna know who you are. I wanna know who you are. And tell those sinners lies and all the things you say. I wanna see who you are. I wanna know who you are. I got the masquerade. Show us who you are. Show us who you are. Show me who you are. I'm as the masquerade.
Yeah, that's right. That's the masquerade. Once again, I want to say God bless evening, reaching out to each and every one of you out there, wherever you are, whatever city, country, town, wherever you are. Blessings to you this evening. You tune into Vibes Up Radio HD on the Monday evening. It's Talk Time with Charmaine. We discussing domestic violence this afternoon, all right? Domestic violence is the topic. So if you want to share in the conversation, the number is 718-342-0510. That's 718-342-0510. Also, you can drop your comments in my feed, Charmin's feed, Wonder feed, whoever you're watching live on Facebook. You could drop your comments. We will read it. Also, you can. We have our Soul to Soul family. The chat room. It's open.
Even check.
That's you can
not
visit
open, that's private.
That's private?
Yes,
oh,
sir.
Soul to Soul family? Okay. But it's open to the family.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. All right then.
Also, Pastor Peter, we want to thank our sponsors, Queen of Queens, 339 Rockaway, Queen of Queens Salon, and it's located at 339 Rockaway Avenue. Ladies, support Tessa, excellent cosmetologist. So, Queens of Queens, 339 Rockaway Avenue. Mr. Copy King at 341 Rockaway Avenue for all your need stuff, flyers, any promotional items. Contact Mr. Copy King at 341 Rockaway Avenue. And of course, Wilmore Liquor Store for all your liquor needs. Anything you need for your parties, ensure you support Wilmore Liquor Store at 1162 Wilmore Street. Just remember that I never did it before.
I want to also say good evening, Miss Nadine Sutherland, for joining us also. Our topic this evening, it's on domestic abuse. And we have Miss Wonder Best. You're an expert on this, huh? Because I see you coming so prepared with all your stats and everything. You have everything.
Make sure I cover everything.
That's right. Because we don't know what we're going to hear this evening, right? So 718-342-0510 is the number if you want to join in the conversation. That's 718-342-0510.
Caller, you're live. Welcome to Talk Time with Sharmin. Hello, caller, you're live. Oh.
All right, you can call back.
Call us back at 718-342-0510.
Oh, that's why.
Okay, Pastor Peter. Call us back at 718-342-0510. You know, Pastor Peter, the last time we discussed, I think I was on the Sunday night mix-up show, and we're talking about domestic violence, and someone shared a story of a woman who was in an abusive relationship for 45 years.
My God.
Wow. 45 years.
Wow.
She wasn't ready at that time and she didn't call in, but yes, 45 years she was in an abusive relationship.
Wow.
That's unbelievable. She spent her whole life unhappy.
Yes.
Unhappy.
Yes.
Wow.
45 years.
Ladies, I'm telling you, man, I got what, 4 daughters, and I tell them, get ready. Anything you kick to the curb. I just had a conversation with my little daughter. She's studying law. You know, you need to get your school right.
Yep.
She graduating early next year, I think in May or something like that. So listen, baby girl, get that right. Don't worry about nothing else. When you get that right, you get your job. You be independent. You know? See, when the shoes is on the other foot, it's always different, you know. Because we can look at it on one way.
Yeah.
You know, but if I would not want to see any one of my girl child being abused, because I never, ever, ever abuse any woman. Relationship that I was in that I could not have dealt with, I walk away from that. Kids behind and everything. Because I know if I take care of my kids, they're going to get to that age that one day when they're going to understand what went on, why daddy had to leave. I never break relationship. That's why now me and my little daughter, we good. Because everything she talks to me, everything she look, hey daddy, you know this, daddy, this is what's going on. You know, I'm not going to even mention that other half.
But you know, it's important that the fathers have that kind of relationship with the daughters. Because you're going to give your daughter something that she cannot get from her mother or any other woman. And it's that male input. So many women grow without that. And they go out and they have this fantasy of what men is about, and they pick the wrong ones, you know, based on the fantasy.
That's true. And it's something I would like to encourage all of the brothers out there, man, because I know there's from a man perspective, I know there's sometimes they got some female that's drive you to do some crazy things.
Nobody can drive you to do anything.
Hold on, Sharmin. Hold on. Yes, they can.
That's true. You make
yes, they can.
You make a decision.
But because
despite a woman or a man
but
doing
because of whatever would cause you is a cause and effect we're dealing with. Just like we were talking about Tyrone. Yeah, you will make the choice, but it's something that caused you to make that choice, right?
We could have.
Yeah, we could go back and forth with that. But anyway, let me make my point. My point is this. Sometimes we try to punish the mother because of what she's doing and end up punishing the children. Don't do that. You can have a relationship with your child or with your kids. Because I did that. I had a relationship with my kid. Even though me and the mother can't get along, me and my child had a relationship that the mother didn't even know about. Because I call her, she calls me, she have my number, we in communication, whatever you need, I'm there for you. You know, that you don't even think about, well, she taking me for child support and I have to pay child support and that's all she gonna get. I had that mentality at first, but I had to change that mentality because you know what? That's only gonna hurt that child.
That's right.
And one day that child is going to grow up. Because so many times I listen to kids and they hate their father so much. I say, I don't want to be one of those fathers to hear my kids hate me because I was never there or I could have done this and I could have done that and I didn't do that. So young men out there, My brothers out there, I'm encouraging you. You know what? Take care of your children. You never know. They might be the future president. You never know.
That's right. And just to...
I'm so sorry. Sisters, a brother called in and he shared his story. I need a sister to call in and to share her story. Let's get even here with the man. He was the first to call in and he shared his story. So I need a sister who survived DV and is now a survivor to call us and share anything about that experience. I'm sorry, Wanda, I cut you off.
The comment I was going to make in reference to what Pastor Peter said, as far as the boys, on behalf of little boys,
right?
They need their fathers too.
Yep.
Boys that grow up without their fathers, they grow up angry. And you find a lot of them that gravitate to the street because they're going to be older boys and males out there that will give them that input that they think they need, that they cannot get from their mothers. Now, women are going to disagree with me, but I personally believe that women can raise a boy up to a certain age.
Right.
And then when they start in with adolescence, they need to have that strong male figure there. And when they don't have it, they gravitate to the street.
All right.
Caller, you're live. Welcome to Talk Time with Sharmin.
Good night, Sharmin. How are you? Eartha.
Hi, Eartha.
This topic tonight is a very touchy topic.
I know.
Because is the pastor there? He's hearing me?
Yes, he's hearing you.
Okay. I was abused by my children's father. And we separated when my youngest son was 1. Now my youngest son is over 30 years old. All 3 are boys. And during the time of our separation, I always kept reaching out to him for him to be a part of the children's lives. Because I know what it is to be without a father. But he never accepted the opportunity to be in the boys' lives. Even when it's the boys' birthdays, I would call him like a day before to let him know it's the boy's birthday, so he can call the day of the birthday to wish them a happy birthday. But he never accepted any of those opportunities that I extended to him to be in the boys' life. So now that the boys are young men, they have their own families, they're grown men, I keep implementing in the boys to reach out to him. And one thing they say to me is that, Mommy, when we needed him, he wasn't there.
Right.
So how are we going to reach out to him now? And I'm saying to them, I'm trying to instill in them that, forgive him, he's your father. But they told me that it's a process and they need their time to get over that in order to reach out. But from time to time they would call him, but they don't have that relation, that bonding that a parent is supposed to have with the child because he was never the one to reach out. And another thing too that he did, he married someone, but the person that he married doesn't want him to be in the children's life. But my point is you're an adult and you have to find way and means to be in your children's life. It doesn't matter what the person that you with is.
Eartha, in light of what Wanda just said, that single parents can raise their sons to a certain level. As a single parent of not just 1 or 2, but 3 boys, and 3, I must add, 3 fine young men, was there a point in in their lives where you really needed a male figure, and if so, what did you do?
I did, especially when they reach the age of puberty, with the changes in the body, when those other things start. When those other manly stuff start, you know what I mean, Pastor?
Yeah, we understand you.
And the house is with 3 young men and I'm the woman. You know, I reach out to male friends of mine and have conversations with them as the things that I should look for, and, you know, and then I started reading up on stuff like that, checking out things on the computer, and it helped me to impart knowledge into them. And then we have the church that we attended back home had some real strong male figures that really helped me with the voice, but it wasn't any easy task. It was not easy.
Wow.
I would like to speak to what you said about the boys not wanting to initially have a relationship with the father. That is normal. The bond wasn't created. Bonds between fathers and sons start as little boys, playing basketball, watching sports together, going outside, throwing the basketball. Those are the things that create that bond that they feel close. Now, if they didn't have that opportunity, initially, he was just like another person in the street. And until, excuse me, they got the input from the mother, this is your father, you should love him, you know, all that sound good, but that's not how they're going to initially feel inside. And it's going to take a while for them, and they may never get to that point because the bond was never created. And once you get once you get past a certain age, you're not going to create the bond.
Exactly.
And
you just got to accept it.
To piggyback on what you're saying to Miss Wanda, because I wanted to say that too.
Yes.
Another thing too. I mean, even now when they try to reach out to him, how does he react to them? Does he still? Yeah, go ahead.
Well, the man he lives in New York and we live in Maryland. So every weekend they were down there, and they happened to go out with him for an evening. My youngest son said, "Mom, that man was really uncomfortable, girl." I don't know what that man was thinking. He didn't look like a happy. I said, "Man, no, I'm sorry for him, because he missed out big time." And as Ms. Wanda was saying, all the things that, when I touch on this topic, sometimes I get very emotional.
And that's okay.
That's okay.
But all the things that he was supposed to do, like go fishing with the boys, play cricket with the boys on the roadway, all the school parent teachers meetings, everything I had to do. But then my oldest son, when we separated, he was 3. And I realized when he reached a certain age, like the preteen age, he was really acting out. So that's the time that I mostly at that point in time needed that male figure. But let me tell you, I put the man pants on and I stood up to him, and we had it till now that they've grown. We reach like once a month, the boys and I would go out and they would laugh at me. They said, "Mom, you were really crazy, girl." I said, "I had to be crazy, you know." But now they appreciate everything that I've done for them. Sometimes they would just send me like love messages and stuff like that. But, when you miss out on that most important part of the child's life, like
when they starting to walk, they first tooth and all that. Those little things means a lot. And when you miss out on those things, like noticing the changes in their body, having conversations, what they would like to do in their future and stuff like that. When you miss all of that, and when they needed you most, you're not there, then, there's nothing you can do about it.
Another thing to Eartha, you can encourage them, but don't force them too much.
I think that's my biggest problem because Sharmin and I had this dialogue. I don't know, as I was explaining to Sharmin a few months ago, I have a warning that I think something is wrong with him, but I can't put my hand on it. And I keep encouraging them, did you call your father? Did you call your father? Call him to something. And my son said to me, you want to talk to him? You call him. I don't want to talk to him.
Right. You see, because that's exactly what that's going to bring. It's going to start bringing resentment to you. You cannot have a relationship with someone that doesn't want to have a relationship with you.
Definitely.
So if they just call and say hi and right, at least they acknowledge him. That's on him.
And also, you got to understand that your sons grew up without their father. They know that he should have been there with you. So there's some resentment there on their part that the father abandoned you or left, whatever happened. There was a breakup. And so they grew with that pain. They grew with the pain of watching other kids with their fathers. And so they have that resentment towards them. And so you would have to allow them the time that it takes for that to heal. You can't do that. The father has to do that. It's on the father to create a relationship with the sons, and periodically you could say, did you call your father? But if you keep doing that, they're going to look at you and say, look, this man, he abandoned you, and you pushing us to have a relationship, and we don't want that. It got to be at their time.
And just to underscore what you said, also, Wanda, a relationship, and Pastor Peter, a relationship is between two people.
Right.
And that is not reaching out.
Right.
So as the child, I am going to begin to think, why is mommy forcing me to reach out to him?
Right.
And he is not reaching out. And as you said, my resentment would be towards mommy.
Right.
I'll get angry when she says, you call your father? For what?
That's true.
And that is so true. So after, Sharmin and I spoke, and I left it like that. I said, they're adults, let them deal with it now. I did my part, so I need to step back.
Right.
And so that's my contribution.
Thank you so much,
Thank you,
Eartha.
Eartha.
You're welcome.
Have a great evening.
All right. Something she said too, that's going a little off track, but with some of these parents, when you're gonna get in, you have children, you have kids, and you're gonna get into a relationship with someone else, please be sure that person will be accepting your kids. Don't leave your kids behind because you're going to start a new family. That is not right. Fundamentally and morally, it is not right.
But it
Kids
happens.
resent that.
Yes.
They resent that you put somebody in front of them.
Exactly. You gotta treat your kids is your kids. You have to treat all of them equal, whether they're same mother, same father, whatever. As long as they are your kids, treat them equal.
That's right.
718-342-0510 is the number. 718-342-0510. We went just a slightly off track there, but we're talking about domestic violence. But these are still cause effects. Effects of domestic violence also.
That's psychological abuse.
Yep.
Talk about.
Yep.
That the kids experience.
Yes.
Being abandoned.
We got half an hour more to go. So usually our callers have a wait. They wait till last minute.
But that's
to call
fine.
us.
That's fine. Pastor Peter, that's okay. You know. So, Wanda. Calling your live. Welcome to Talk Time with Sharmin.
Good night, Sharmin, and good night, Wanda, and good night, Pastor.
Hello.
This is Judith. Hi, I'm Judith.
Hey, Judith.
Good night.
Hi, Judith.
Hi. I'm hearing the topic that y'all have, and I mean, if you have any questions, because I'm also a survivor, and I do work with victims of domestic violence, and that's my passion, to give back what was given to me. So I'm tuning in and listening to different topics, different comments that were made, and some of them, yes, I agree with, especially the father role, but I think both parents need to be in a child's life, father and mother. The girl also needs a father figure. So I think now my focus is more towards the men also, the young boys, for us to reach out to the young boys now. You know, to educate them also that what domestic violence is and what domestic violence does to them in life. So that's the other focus that I'm having now, because we're more focusing on the female part, but we're not reaching out also to the male population, which is the young boys, because they're becoming abusive towards female and vice versa, female abusive towards men. But men don't speak about it that often. They keep it in and deal with it, because when you're growing up boys, I don't have boys, but you know, being around males, you're hearing, you know, don't cry, you're a boy. Don't show your emotion, you're a boy. Boys need to show their emotion. They have feelings also. So that's why we need to also flip it a little bit also and focus on our young boys also.
Well, thank you, Judith. I don't know if you were on when we shared the statistics of adolescents, of domestic violence among adolescents. And of course, the statistics are alarming. And so, you know, addressing that with adolescents and even preteens is very important. And thank you so much.
No, I didn't tune in at that. I came in late, so that's why. So I got the part where I think the caller has spoke and Pastor has spoke. That's the part where I got, you know, a little bit of it, but I was not at the beginning.
Yeah.
And I must commend you guys for doing what you're doing, because the more awareness is better, educate our youngsters, because domestic violence is rapidly now in our teens now.
Yeah.
So I do commend you guys for doing a wonderful job, and keep doing it. Spread the word, especially in East New York, also in the community, so that we could bring more awareness and educate our kids. And thank you guys.
Well, thank you for calling. Thank you so much, Judith.
You're welcome.
You know, as she was saying that, a thought that just went through my mind too. It's about even in the, you know, how our teens look up to as role models. Because if you look at people like Chris Brown, and these teenagers, they want to be like Chris Brown. They want all the tattoos, they want all the fancy dance moves, they want the millions, you know, and they're gonna adopt the style that comes with it also, you know, and these are things that we need to educate our teens too, you know.
That's very important, Pastor Peter. Now that you said that, a thought ran into my mind that even single parents in whatever neighborhood they live, may, of course, they want to make ends meet, so they're working, and they don't know who their kids are exposed to, and who their kids who is the role model the kids are following in the neighborhood, and the kids might be following the role model for that child might be the guy in the neighborhood who treats women like dirt,
Right.
who treats them without respect. So, excuse me. So that's how, and maybe mom might begin to see little signs of it because he might begin to treat mom differently.
That's true.
And that's time for intervention.
I mean, how many people that have kids that you know, your kids come home from school and they come home with certain behavior, you'd be like, where did you get that from? You know, you never used to act like that. Why you start acting like that? You know, that is so
It's
true.
the environment.
Calling you live. Welcome to Talk Time with Sharmin.
Good night, Auntie Sharmin.
Good night, Lady Mika. Lady Mika? We lost Lady Mika.
Lost Lady Mika. Mika, you gotta call back. 718-342.
I want to
0510 is the number. Yes, Miss Wanda, go ahead.
Okay, I want to just kind of piggyback on the point that you brought up. Call back.
All right.
Calling you live. Welcome to Talk Time with Sharmin.
Good night again. I accidentally cut the phone off.
Okay.
I'm calling in because not too long ago I was scrolling on my timeline and I saw a friend of mine that publicly expressed domestic abuse, whereby she posted some pictures and a quote, and I screenshotted it and I sent it to you, and I also advised her to tune in to the live, program, being that it was on domestic violence, and I wanted you to speak to her directly based upon what I sent you. And now that she's listening, before the show is over, I want you to talk directly to her. She's in Guyana, so she's not able to call in, but I do want you to touch on that before the show is over.
Okay, I'm oh my God, I'm happy that you called in because I would not have seen it until I got home, and I would have been angry because I'm looking at it and I'm reading it, I'm seeing the black eye.
Immediately when I saw it, I was enraged. I got upset. And what I love is the fact that she chose the platform to speak of, which was Facebook, and I admire her bravery. There's some of the comments that I found was quite ignorant, but then, that's just my opinion. But I also, tagged your name and I asked you to reach out.
Okay.
These pictures were posted 49 minutes ago. I don't know how long this has happened, but I'm just happy that I'm able to, have her listen. So I just want you to speak to her directly.
Okay. Well, I've seen the picture, and first I want to congratulate her for her courage, her tenacity, and bravery for using the platform that is available to her to encourage other women, to show other women. And as she said, ladies, be careful who you love. Sometimes the fairy tale ending is for you, but not with the one you choose. She said, I was lucky to get out alive. You may feel sorry for him every time he says sorry, but he doesn't feel sorry for repeating these acts. They are also manipulative to make you feel as though it's your fault, break your self-esteem, and make you feel worthless. But trust me, this is not love. It was not the first time, and it was not going to be the last. I was and still I'm afraid, but God is in charge. So she's still scared, and she might still be in the relationship from what I read. And listeners, she posted her black eye, which is power to her. she's taken back on some of her power from him by doing that. But my dear sister, I know you're listening. I'm going to say my piece, and then Miss Wanda is going to share with you. But you just started the process of your escape by publicizing this and raising awareness on Facebook. And you know what? You might just start your career, because you may not, a lot of times we go through stuff and we endure it and we survive. And when we get out of it, it's time for us to help people that are in that situation. So I want to encourage you. I am going to call one of my friends who's a psychologist in Guyana. I'm going to reach out to her. And if you're willing to speak to someone, I will get her, ask her to give you a consultation. And see where it goes from there. I don't know what stage of your escape you're in, because we know that the women leave 10 times before they actually leave permanently. But this might be your number one or number two, because posting this takes a lot of courage.
Absolutely.
A lot of courage. So despite I'm looking at the black eye and I'm angry, but I feel empowered because of what you have done. And I know this is your first step, Wanda.
And I would like to also congratulate you, and for you to post it on Facebook, that means you've had enough. I'm sure that this is not the first black eye that you've had, and that it took repeated black eyes for you to say, this is it, I'm putting it on Facebook. So now what you have to do is embrace the power, like Sharmin said, take your power back, because at some point you gave it to him and he took it and he misused it and abused it. And so now you have to take your life back, and if it's physical abuse to this point, you have to get out. There is no staying, there is no we're gonna work this out. This is your life that you're talking about. Women die in abusive relationships. And so this can be a warning that it will get worse, and most of the time it does get worse. But this should empower you to move forward, because if you can do this, you can do more.
Yes.
And once you do more, once you take the next step, even though it's a baby step, if it's a baby step, then do that, because it'll be one step further away from him. Remember, your life is important. If you have children, your children need you. So don't just stay and be afraid to leave. Sometimes you just got to jump in the water and start swimming, and the other side is going to be better. And you got to remember that. You got to love yourself more than that person that would do that to you. Some things are just not acceptable.
You know, Sharmin, we were talking earlier too concerning.
Pastor Peter, if I may interject, I'm going to just let you guys carry on with the show, and thank you so much,
go ahead.
Sharmin, for shedding some light on this situation, and I know that you're going to do the best that you can to help this young lady. So thank you guys.
Thank you so much.
All right,
Thank you.
Good night.
As I look at those pictures, Pastor Peter, I think it's a month or so ago, like a month and a half ago, someone contacted me about this young woman in New Jersey who has relatives, and it's in a domestic violence situation where she lives with the boyfriend and his family, and he would beat her in the house, and none of his relatives would even come to the room. And she had a broken eye socket and didn't have no ID. And the last time we spoke, she told me she was going to Guyana with him. Of course, I advised her not to go, because she told him when she's come, when on her return, she's leaving him.
Right.
So I don't know if she was able to return. I don't know anything. Eventually, I think after she insisted on going, and I think it was dangerous, because if you're abusing me here in the U.S., and I'm telling, and we're going on vacation in Guyana, anything can happen to you in Guyana.
Right. I got a nephew that's a police in Guyana, and he said right now they don't play with that, with domestic violence.
Mm-hmm.
He said they don't play with that right now. So yeah, wise if you can get the proper authority involved, to do that also. Because my nephew said they're not playing with that right now.
Well, what I told her, I told her after she's insisting, because she has a son that she hasn't seen for years.
Mm-hmm.
And so this was her opportunity to see her son. So I told her to go to Guyana, but get some male relatives to pick her up from the airport.
Right.
And upon her return, don't go back to his mother's house. Because when he broke her eye socket, she called the cops. The cops came to the door and the mother asked him, "What are you guys doing here?"
Mm-hmm.
And she knew that girl is in there bleeding. No one called you.
But here's the thing, we especially in America, when it comes to the authorities, she could have come out the house at some point. It hadn't, if they try to hold her back in there, whatever. Whenever she gets out of the house, go straight to the precinct.
But she didn't do that. She went to work, and it's her boss got in contact with one of my friends, and my friends put me on to him.
Mm-hmm. Well, she's probably living with the family.
Yes.
Because she has nowhere to go.
Well, it's not. That's what she's thinking. But she has aunts. But I think also fear and shame.
Mm-hmm.
Shame.
Right.
That her relatives is gonna know. But then she called the father, who she thought that if he know, he's gonna kill the boyfriend. And she told the father that this was, she was a victim. And he didn't kill the boyfriend, but her aunt invited her to come and stay with her. But
she got out of it.
I don't know. I have no idea.
You see, this is one of the thing. When one of my daughters in Guyana wanted to get married, I sit down and I spoke with her and the young man and said, "Listen, I know you guys gonna have ups and downs. You're gonna have your arguments and whatever, but don't ever take God out your thoughts and lay your hands on my daughter. I never lay hands on my daughter, and you don't do it. Because I sure will in the name of the Lord." I don't play that.
But Pastor Peter, I want to thank this young lady for her bravery. That's bravery.
Yep.
But she was fed up. Right there.
Yeah. It's like, okay, you can do me this. I'm going to show the world
who you are.
Yeah. I'm showing the world who you are. You think that you're defeating me, but you're empowering me. Because look what I did.
Yep.
I am empowered enough, and I know women are going to send messages to me because they might be in the same situation and may need my help.
And another thing I want to encourage her too, because as we are aware that she is listening, forget about the negative comments. People going to be stupid. That's just plain stupid. They're going to say stupid things and they're going to comment stupid things. You don't worry about that. You do what you have to do. Your life is the one that is involved, not them.
Calling you live. Welcome to Talk Time with Sharmin.
Good evening, Sister Sharmin. A blessed Monday evening to you, Pastor Peter. Blessed Monday. Good evening.
Good evening, Brother Earl.
Good. As I call you guys, I hope this young lady is listening. It is tears in my eyes, young lady. I hope you're still listening. You have started your process, like Sister Sharmin said, the escape from this situation. One that said it best, you're fed up. Mm-hmm. You are fed up. This is a very serious, touchy situation and something that is life today. All the callers, my heart beats for you all. Continue to stay strong. All the callers, to all of you who Omika, thanks for sharing. Sister Darwin, thanks for picking it up. Young lady, you're fed up. You are fed up. Pastor Peter, you said everything as a man, as a father tonight as I listen to you. You've led by example. If you've called us out, I accept it, but I'm a father of 2 growing girls. And I know you did not say so lightly to that young man back then, because I said it to 2 young men in my girl's life. And brother, you've led by example all night, but I want to focus on that last thing tonight. Young lady, you're fed up. Please get out. Please, in the name of Jesus, we plead for you. Get out. Black Eye, she posted it. She's got the courage and the will and the power, like Sharmin used those words to describe it. Young lady, this is Brother Earl pleading with you. Get out for your life, for your safety, and your future. Oh, I cry tonight for this young lady. I cry for all these victims. What a wonderful show as usual. Guys, so Bridget, thank you for Sister Charmin. Thank you for Pastor Peter. Thank you for wonders. God bless you all. What a program. Listen. Go finish your program. Thank you. Good night.
Okay, Brother Earl.
Thank you, Brother Earl.
God bless, man.
Good night, Steve.
All right. Go ahead, Miss Wanda.
All right, so I'm responding to a comment or something that was posted, right? How men abuse women by keeping them on the side while they go out with other women. So if you're in a relationship and the person that you're with has other women, and it could be reverse, other men, then that relationship is demeaning to you. A relationship should be a commitment that I'm with you, I love you, but some people need to have extra people and they like variety, so they have these multiple partners on the side. Now, what happens with that? One, you open yourself up to STDs, sexually transmitted diseases. You open yourself up to situations that are psychologically abusive. So if you're in a relationship and the person has more women on the side or other men on the side, then that's not a mentally healthy, conducive relationship for you.
Someone wants to know if that's abuse.
Yes, it is abuse. Okay. It's emotional abuse because you can't be in a relationship. Some people accept it, all right? But if when you accept that, are you really happy, or are you accepting it because you want the man or you want the woman? You see, you have to think of, well, what is peace of mind? What's going to give me peace of mind? Knowing that I'm with someone that leaves me and go and be with someone else, or maybe just one other person, and then come back to me. Women accept that kind of relationship all the time. Mm-hmm. But is it fair? Can you do that? Can you meet someone that makes you feel good, and I'm not talking about sexually, somebody that appreciates you and make you feel wanted and make you feel like a woman? Can you meet somebody if you're in a relationship with someone who has somebody on the side, one across town, around the corner, upstairs? Can you do that? Women can't do that because then you'll be classified as an unfit woman. You know, what people call
H word, the H word, the H word.
I was trying to think. Why is it
we're not
that
talking about the garden tools?
No.
But before we end, thank you so much, Wanda. And the person that sent that, message, I hope that Wanda answered your question. But we want to end tonight on a positive note. Mm-hmm. We've talked about broken relationship. Mm-hmm. We can't close on that. Right. So we have 5 minutes, and within the 5 minutes we are going to talk about what does a healthy relationship look like? So go ahead, Wanda.
Okay, so important aspects of a healthy relationship. This is very important, so listen very closely, because a lot of times we think our relationships are healthy and they are dysfunctional. They are not healthy. So, mutual respect. Do I treat the other person as if he or she is of value? Compassion. Do I have genuine concern for the issues that cause the other person's concern? Empathy. To what degree am I able to allow myself to be open to what he or she feels? Understanding. Do I try to understand the other person, what they say or do? Acceptance. Can I feel I am okay the way I am? Do I accept him or she as he or she is? Honesty. Is the relationship built on truthfulness, or are there games involved? To what trust, to what degree am I willing to let the other person know private aspects of my thoughts, feelings, and life? And feel that they will not throw it back in my face. Good communication. Can we talk freely about issues that are important to the relationship? Do we know how to talk so we each are understood and sharing is safe, and we're not talking at each other, but we're talking to each other? And when you're talking to each other, one person talks, the other person's quiet. The other person talks, the other person's quiet. You're not talking both at the same time, because then nobody hears anybody. So, consideration. Am I mindful of the other person's needs as well as my own? Compatibility. Mutual enjoyment. To what extent do we like and value the same things? In areas of disagreement, are we able to agree to disagree? Personal integrity. Am I able to maintain my beliefs and sense of self, as well as offer my time and attention to the relationship? Vulnerability. To what degree can I let down my barriers and allow the other person to see my perceived weaknesses without fear of negative reactions for them? And so when you look at your relationships and the relationships that you're in, see if you have these things going on. Because this is what makes a healthy relationship. Trust, compassion, understanding, integrity, honesty, acceptance, consideration. All these things makes for a healthy relationship. And we should strive to have that in our relationships.
Thank you so much, Wanda. My cousin is on the live chat, and she said something that I've been hearing for the past couple of months. I think as women, we need more support groups for each other. And that is so true. Because we don't have forums. Right. Some of us don't even trust our girlfriends enough to share secrets with them, or share, well, I don't like the word secrets because I don't like it. I think it's something that holds you in bondage. But to share some of your experiences with them, you don't trust them enough. And this is something that we may need to do some collaboration on, to have some support groups, because like my friend that came from Guyana that was at my conference, she said, I have never been in a room with women that did not, well, of course the conference is no more mass, the women that felt that were so comfortable to share their stories. And stories that we don't talk about. Right? So this is something that we were really going to follow up, Alwyn, because as you said, women, first thing we need an outlet, and we need to support each other. We don't do that enough. Right. So this is something we're going to look into, so that we can get some support, and so that women can get that support. They know that, okay, we meet every month, once a month or every 2 months, and they know that they can come and just let their hair down and take off their mask and walk away, and it's okay.
Right.
And it's a way to get it out.
Yes.
You see, you have to get it out. You can't keep it inside because that's what makes you crazy.
Well, I can't keep nothing inside.
Me
and I like Facebook. I don't care. I post anything. Once I post it there and you pick it up, that's on you. I just offload. I just dump stuff. You pick it up, go with it, run with it. That's fine. You know, so I just want to encourage my sisters. I want to thank everyone that called. I want to thank everyone on the live feed. Our continued supporters. Oh, hold on. I have a comment here that I have to read. Dr. Rose October Edon said, it's also part of Caribbean culture to keep secrets. We didn't get into the cultural aspect of domestic violence. You know, you don't have, and even, it's not even Caribbean, because the article that I read is not a Caribbean article. And the social worker said that we were socialized that you don't hang your dirty laundry in public. So, you know, you keep that secret. You're taught that whatever happened in the house should not stays in the house, and when you go out, you lift your head and your chest, and you pretend like nothing happened, and your father just beat your mother, and your mother is bleeding, but you have to leave for school, and you got to pretend that it never happened.
You know, we probably should continue this next week.
Next week is holiday, Pastor Peter.
Holiday, Columbus Day.
Oh,
you're lying.
Don't let me start talking about Columbus Day.
We don't respect that. We don't we have bigger things here, a bigger issue here to deal with. So we will have a show next week. I will try to get someone that survived domestic violence.
Well, you're in our head because actually I won't be here, but Wanda's gonna be here filling in for me, and Wanda is gonna put together a panel so you can bring someone, a survivor, because we want.
This person would be a call-in because they're not here; they're in Florida.
Oh, well, that's fine, but we wanted at least 2 people that are survivors so that you can hear from the survivors, and hear the stories. But I'll be tuning in because I'm gonna be it's 5 o'clock is my last session, so I'll be tuning in from Alexandria.
Yeah, because I have the testimony. I have 2 testimonies from them, but I didn't play it because I want them to physically talk.
I heard her testimony. I know who it is. And her testimony, I heard it on the radio and I was in tears driving. So it's going to be powerful. Also, I have Kimberly promised me that she's going to call in. So tomorrow I'll text her and let her know that next week is Survivor. It's the show of survivors. And DV survivors, so she can call in. She can take her break and call in between 6 and 9. And Wanda, you're gonna get Miss Scott.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
And maybe some other person. Maybe bring in Judith.
I'm waiting for one person.
Okay, so
I will talk to Judith.
Yeah, so we'll have a panel next week of survivors, and I know you guys are going to do wonderful.
You know, and that's a very important show because you want to get out of it. Acknowledge that it happened. You want to leave and become a survivor. But then after you become a survivor, you want to be a thriver. Because once you leave, your life changes dramatically.
Yes. Yes.
Once you leave, your life changes.
Yes.
Not the same.
Wow. All right, we're running over time right now.
Yeah, so thank you all. Thank you to everyone on the Facebook Live. Next week we'll have a survivor show where we will get a few survivors on the show to talk to us about their experience and how they're surviving and who has entered into the phase to be a thriver. So we want to continue. We want to thank you for your continued support. Thanks to Vibes Up Radio for providing us the platform to so we can have these discussions. And thanks to Queens of Queens, Copy King, and Wilmore Liquor Store. Thank you, Pastor Peter.
Yep.
Wanda, thank you. Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
Captain, thank you. Boss Lady, thank you. And I want to thank all the callers, Lady Omika, Eartha from Maryland, Brother Earl, Miss Lorraine, and our first caller that I don't know his name, but it's not the first time he called us. So thank you all. Thank you to everyone that was on the live feed on Facebook. Good night.
Good night, everyone. But before we go, most important thing, Father, we thank you tonight, Lord, for this platform. We thank you for Vibes Up Radio for providing this platform for us, oh God. Father God, for you said, oh God, in your word that your people perish for the lack of knowledge, oh Lord. Father God, I thank you, God, that we can impart the knowledge, oh God, that they can gain the wisdom and the understanding that they need, Lord, to get out of this situation that they are in, Lord. Father, I pray right now, oh God, that you will give them the courage, oh God, that you will give them the strength, oh God, Father God, to overcome, oh God, whatever it is that they're going through, oh Lord. Father God, we bind the weakness of these men, oh God. I have to put it in that way, the weakness, oh God. Lord God, the insecurity of these men, oh God, Father God. Lord God, give them courage, oh God, Father God, to overcome the abusiveness, oh God, that the devil tried to impart upon them, oh Lord. Father God, I pray, God, that you will cover your daughters, cover your sons, oh God, with your blood, oh God, and keep them in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Pastor Peter.
Thank you.
Since we did it.